Hello folks, and welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party and VR display. Today we're going to be taking a look at theBlu. It is developed by Weaver. You can pick it up on Steam for $9.99. Currently it's only available for the HTC Vive. I don't know if there's any other plans to bring it to other VR consoles now or in the future. I was not able to find any of the information on their website. So there's 3 episodes, Reef Migration, Whale Encounter, and Luminous Abyss. Let's go ahead and get started on Reef Migration. By the way, all relevant links will be in the video description below the video. Alright, now we're deep in the ocean here. Now, first things first, this is not a game. This is purely an experience. You're just supposed to immerse yourself in the ocean here. You can do some limited interactions. So for example, you can see my controllers here. I can kind of scare off the fish a little bit. They also will react to wherever you are physically, or at least your headset. See if I can find one that's close. Oh, well, that one's scared off. And as you can imagine, you can move around. I can walk over to this edge here. Sorry, excuse me, fish. You can look down there. See, I believe that's manta ray. But yeah, you can look around, and again, there are other things that are interactable, but again, it's very, very limited for the most part. You can kind of mess with these. I don't know if these things actually do this in real life if you try to touch them. However, probably not a great idea to try without a trained scuba diver telling you to do so, or you might lose a hand. Or maybe even worse, I have no idea. So I'm not going to show you all 3 episodes in full. I'll show you a little bit of 1 and 3. I will show you all of episode 2, the whale encounter, because that one is quite short. Let me move here. I'm getting next to my my boundaries. I think I'm about to run into my desk. But again, as you can imagine, you can kind of get down here and look around. You can mess with the grass a little bit. As you can see, it's not necessarily realistic, it just kind of waves right, left and right. But again, not supposed to be a super realistic sim, some of which you'll see here fairly soon. But again, it's just more of a immersive thing going on. One thing I really like, that seems very minor, especially if you're probably watching this on YouTube, but that really, I feel, adds a lot of depth to the experience, like realism to the experience, is these like little floaty ball things. I don't know what it is, but it makes you really feel like you're in a 3D space. In particular, it makes you really feel like you are underwater. By the way, again, I want to apologize any kind of mic issues, commentary audio issues. I love my Vive, but the mic is, to put it mildly, not good. So if there's any kind of audio quality issues, do know I am working on that. I'm probably going to have to get a separate mic entirely because it's really bad. I've tried several fixes and nothing so far has been overly fruitful. See, here we have the migration that this episode is named after, I would imagine. And once these guys get a little bit closer, I'll show you how you can interact with them. Also trying to move my head very slowly so that I don't, I know it can be very jarring to try to watch this kind of thing on YouTube, inducing possibly some motion sickness. But you can kind of bump these guys. You can't pull them forward, you can only kind of bump them back. But of course you can get really close and look at them. I really like this overall experience. I like all of these episodes. And we'll talk about my favorite one once we get there. Now, these I don't think react to the mask. I don't think. Nope, they will fly right through our heads. Again, probably something you wouldn't want to actually do if you were under the ocean. I like to kind of bounce them. I like the physics when you bump them. That is pretty neat effect. Though they seem like they're very annoyed. Oh, the big guys are coming. This is all 3 of these episodes for theBlu, which I'm going to show you, are one of those things that, like, one of the first things you show to people with what's coming with VR, what virtual reality is really like. Because there's not like a game, they don't have to try to learn game mechanics and figure out what they're supposed to do and all that. You can show anybody. In fact, this was the first thing when my mother came over. I actually showed her this, and she loved it. She actually liked the second one the most, which we're going to do after this. But it's like you don't have to do anything. You just kind of experience it. You kind of look around and just see what you see. And we're going to leave here soon because, again, those of you who want to experience this yourself, I want there to be a little bit, some surprises. But I love these big guys, and I like how close they get. We can move over. I've got a fairly small play area, so I can't move around too much. We're like right at the border here. So we can kind of get all in this guy. We can... You know what's really trippy about this is I'm touching this, and he's wobbling like that. That's where my curtain is, so I'm actually getting some feedback. That's dedication to this experience. And the music, the atmosphere of this is great. Like the music, the ambient sounds, all of it is just really, really good. So let's go ahead and go back to the main menu. Okay. So next, we are going to do Whale Encounter. Now, this one, for some reason, plays with my recording software a little funny. So there might be a little bit of a break here. In fact, there might be a break between all these. But in particular, this one. So I do apologize. But let's go ahead and get started on Whale Encounter. Okay. As you can see, we're in a different area now. Oops, excuse me, school of fish. We're on the edge of a sunken ship. Seen better days, but if I were an old ship, this is where I would want to retire. Not be some tourist trap restaurant out in Florida or something. Now this one is really short. Like I say, I'm going to go ahead and show you this whole one because there's not a lot to it time-wise. And again, the fish will react to you, both your head and the actual hands. Oh, and there's our encounter. And again, those of you who haven't experienced virtual reality yet, this might just seem, oh, that's pretty cool. But once you actually kind of get into it and see it, like it's really trippy to experience how large these beasts really are. And I'm sure there's even bigger ones actually in the ocean. Possibly, I have no idea. Going scuba diving is something I've always wanted to do, and this gets me one step closer. Hopefully he's careful. Oh, okay. And stuff like that is still pretty trippy. It's still pretty trippy. Despite me doing this several times and knowing, of course, you're just playing a quote-unquote game. So that's the end of the encounter. So yeah, as I said, that one's pretty darn short. And to be fair, the Reef Migration, I don't think it had too much longer to go. So next, let's go to the Luminous Abyss. Alright, this one is by far my favorite. One of the reasons I saved it for last. Now, in this one, everything is pitch black. So let me turn off my little flashlight. You can see we can see almost nothing. We can see the light over there. That little guy. And if you can see we have a few controls on our, controllers. I can switch which hand is the flashlight. We can also slow time. You can hear the sound changes slightly. Everything goes a lot slower. The whole purpose being so you can kind of immerse yourself, just kind of relax. And, there are some people that would want to relax deep in the lightless ocean full of terrible, terrible creatures like this. We're going to switch it back to normal speed. You can also take screenshots as well. So this guy's floating in here. I guess he wants to go see what's up with that light. I don't know if he's gonna... I don't think he's gonna like what he's gonna find at the end of that tunnel. I hit my wall. Got him. But yeah, I love this one. The ambience here is great. Again, these little floaty things, which is probably fish poop, really adds that realism to it, especially when one like floats right in front of your face. My natural inclination is to back up and kind of swipe it away, even though I know it's, obviously not really there. And again, it's one of those things that it's cliche to say, but virtual reality really is one of those things you have to really see and to understand the whole experience. The lighting effects are pretty nice. If you watch the shadows, you can see they move around fairly realistically. There's a little bit of wonkiness there, but for the most part, it's not taking me out of it. We also have some fish who obviously don't like the light too much. Get a good feel for our surroundings. I think there's some other little fish around here. Again, try not to move too quickly because I know it can be jarring if you are watching on YouTube. Oh, there's a little crab buddy. He reminds me of the crabs in Dark Souls, but much less of gigantic jerks. Got some other fish that are lit up. Let's go ahead and turn I've got all of our flashlights, both of our flashlights turned off. Kind of like to see what they can light up themselves. Oh, I was wondering what that light was. And again, like the other jellyfish, you can kind of bob them. You can get down here. Take a closer look. Give him a little boop. Probably not a huge fan of booping the jellyfish, I don't imagine. Probably especially not with your face. Again, do not do this if you are actually in the ocean at any point. I got a little of his buddies coming out. And again, I don't have the flashlight on. If I want to, I can turn it back on. See a little bit better. See, even with the flashlight, I like that you can't see too far. You can just see the hints of some things off in the distance. And if I had a little bit more playroom to move around, I could probably explore a little bit more as well. This is a great argument for knocking down more walls in your house. At least that's the one I've been trying to make to myself. Of course, you can mess with the little guys. We're going to do this experience for a little bit longer because this one gets really, really neat right about now. Because you got some of the glowing fish coming in, kind of complementing the jellyfish upward migration. And now you can really get a good look of where we are. And here I'm going to be a little bit more quiet because the music and just the ambient sounds of the fish really help to enhance the experience. So I'll let you listen to that. Alright, so let's go ahead and head on out. We're going to go back to the main menu. Alright, and that was the last one, the Luminous Abyss. Sorry if I left you, Brightwiz is getting good, but again, I want those of you who are going to check this out yourselves, I want to have a little bit of surprises. Now, what's odd is there's not a lot of options for these. This one has the most options, the Luminous Abyss. You can turn the music on or off. You can turn ambient mode on or off, and I believe ambient mode just to let you stay there as long as you want. It doesn't have like a timer, it doesn't end, because all of them normally will end after a set amount of time, as the whaling counter did. But the other ones, do as well. But this one you can turn that off, and the inspector gives us the options I showed you earlier with the slow down time option and the option to take screenshots. And you can also turn the music off here, but other than that, these two don't have those options. I don't quite know why that is. The blue one kind of makes sense, since the whale only comes around the one time, and other than that, there's not a whole lot to see. But I feel like this one, the Reef Migration, should probably have that same ambient option, but that's just my opinion. So anyway, that was theBlu. Again, it is on Steam for $9.99 right now, available only for HTC Vive as far as I'm aware. Overall, do I think it's worth the $9.99 to $10? Let's just call it. It depends. It depends on how much you value experiences like that, and also, to me, not only is it just experience. I love like the underwater. I love like I've always wanted to go scuba diving, and obviously this is no substitute. But it was really neat to experience, and it's one of those go-tos, like I mentioned before, that I like to show off. When somebody's first checking out my VR stuff, this is the one thing I know I can send to nobody. Doesn't matter, any age, any gaming experience, whatever. It's just something that you can throw somebody in and have them take a look at it. And for me, it's worth it for both of those reasons. You will have to kind of make a decision because, again, just to make sure you're making an informed one, Reef Migration and Luminous Abyss aren't too much longer than I showed you. So probably all in all, it might be 30 minutes if you just go through each one in a row. Now, if it's something you might come back to just to kind of relax and experience again, or again, show friends and family, then it might be worth it too. Again, just it depends on how much you value it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Again, all relevant links will be in the description below the video. Make sure you leave comments in the comment section below. And I will be doing a lot more of these VR-related videos, so make sure you subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you next time.